systems go. Clear for liftoff. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the SHIPIT Nation Round 3 Showdown show for the Arnold Palmer Invitational, and it was very interesting. Round 3, we saw our guy Scotty Scheffler make his way to the top of the leaderboard, had a phenomenal round, 5 under, round of the day. It's going to be tough to beat this guy at this course this weekend. So, we'll go through, see what we can find for some plays here for round 3. We'll talk through some strategy as well, and you guys are always welcome to put some questions in the chat. We'll cover some questions as well. A couple things, housekeeping items. Please do us that favor, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Appreciate all your support. Just hit 6,000 subscribers on YouTube. Want to keep that momentum going in the right direction. So if you're not subscribed, please go ahead and get subscribed. And if you're not a member at shipitnation.com, you can still use promo code HOOP15. It gives you 15% off any package over at shipitnation.com. Includes all our sports: NFL, NBA, PGA, MMA, NHL, MLB, NASCAR, college football. You want the annual package, use that code HOOP15. It's $509. The industry standard nowadays is like $500 per sport. Or $500 for all our content. And we have experts covering all these sports that we have offered. So, again, we appreciate all your support. And let me get back on the proper setup here. All right, we're good to go. So a bunch of guys, I have it sorted here by the score on DraftKings. So just boom right here, not necessarily the price. We'll do it a couple different ways, but the score is pretty important because they haven't eliminated the guys that got cut. And it looks like we got, let's see. We talked about the strategy on the main slate where got to play it like a no-cut event. How many guys did get cut? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11 of the 69 guys got cut. So we're sitting with 58 guys. So a majority of the field obviously got through. The big names that missed the cut. I don't know if Matthew Fitzpatrick is a big name, but he missed the cut. Adam Scott, probably the highest owned guy that got cut. Justin Rose, Morikawa, obviously pretty popular. Fleetwood popular, and Kitayama did get some ownership as well. So I haven't seen what the 6-6 percentages are. But again, it's a large majority of the field got through. But there are some higher owned guys that missed the cut. So I'm curious to see if anyone in the chat. I guess I can't watch live. Can I assume Scotty putted better today? Yeah, absolutely. And that's what we talked about on that main show. It's like, I don't care what sort of putter he's using. As long as he's trying something new, it can't hurt him. And today that putter obviously did pay off because I know he made some long ones. But if anyone has a 6-6 percentage, go ahead and toss that in there. Curious what that is at. But going into tomorrow, safe to say Scotty Scheffler will be pretty popular. And I have now sorted it by price. He's 11.5. And the guy is just like the best golfer in the world right now. I don't even think it's particularly close. In terms of the main slate stuff, I played right around 50% Scotty. I had 25 or 30 Rory. He's just so much better than Rory McIlroy. And I know people love their Rory McIlroy stuff, but Scotty Scheffler is just so much better, and I don't really care. Can Rory beat him in one round? Yeah, I think Rory's in play for tomorrow. But if deciding between spending on Scotty and Rory, I'm just going with Scotty. He is so good, and he's just better than Rory McIlroy, but I get it. $800, one round stuff. I would have both these guys in my player pool. I think they're both strong options going into tomorrow. Victor Hovland had a good round, bounced back nicely. He's now sitting at 4 under, top 10, 10.3K. He's played well at this event. He's a guy that you can definitely play today. Xander at 10-1. The one thing I did want to mention, actually, before we fully hop into all this is tomorrow the weather looks rough. It's going to be 15 to 20 mile an hour sustained winds, and it looks like gusts into the 30s. So there should be some carnage. This course is difficult. And like these are the sort of courses, like there should be more courses like this on tour where the rough is so deep. If you miss the fairway, you're paying a penalty. And that's what these guys are encountering this week. You miss the fairway, you are going to pay a penalty. I mean, there's a huge disadvantage to missing the fairway. Some of these courses, that disadvantage just doesn't exist. It should be there. If you miss the green, left, right, disadvantage, you're in this thick rough that's hard to get out of. So I do like the setup, but in terms of tomorrow, it's going to be very windy. It's going to be very difficult for these guys to control their shots. And I think we see some huge scores. I mean, we could see this leaderboard completely shift tomorrow because of this weather and this wind. So Hovland, good with at 10-3. Xander Schauffele played well today. He's sitting, what is he? He's 2 under, sitting T23rd. He's 10.1K. He's fine as well. All 4 of these guys in the 10K range, I think, are fine plays tomorrow. I'd rank them Scotty, Xander, and then Rory would be the 4th option for me for round 4 tomorrow. Coming down to this 9K range, Cantlay played well today, looked really bad yesterday, bounced back fine today to make the cut. Jordan Spieth, up and down round. He got way up there. I think he got to 5 under, then kind of fell apart on the back 9. Fine going to him if you want to do that. And then Aubert at 9,300. People probably avoid him tomorrow because he's 3 over, has not played well, but I'd be fine going to him. Sam Burns, up and down round. I believe he got up to 5 or 6 under, then settled at 4 under. And then Zalatoris, man. These bottom 2 guys I like a lot. Zalatoris, Thomas. What do we know about Zalatoris? He plays tough courses very well, and we've seen that so far. He's sitting 7th at 6 under, 1 shot off the lead. And then JT last year was probably the best win player on tour. Like he did. I mean, he sucked last year, don't get me wrong, but in these windy, tough conditions, he got the job done. So looking at this 9K range, JT and Zalatoris are definitely my favorites, and they're the 2 cheapest. So it makes it easy. Cantlay, Spieth, Aubert, Burns. Yeah, I mean, I'm impartial on those guys, but in this range, definitely Zalatoris and JT are the 2 that I like the most. Morikawa obviously missed the cut. He was pretty popular. We got Cam Young, Homa, Thigala, Jason Day, and then Wyndham Clark, Shane Lowry, Connors, and Tom Kim in the 8K range. Just talking through this, the guys that stand, or let's start with the guys that I'll be off of. I'm going to be off Tom Kim tomorrow. He barely made the cut. I don't like this course for him. I think he's a totally fine fade. Fitzpatrick and Fleetwood obviously missed the cut. We're not playing them. They will be eliminated from the player pool here, but I do like Cam Young. And I do like Shane Lowry. Now, I don't want to play all those guys up top that are 7 under, but Lowry, I think, is a good play tomorrow with these tougher conditions. You want Lowry in the tough conditions. He's used to playing in the wind, so he's a play for me. And then, Cam Young, Homa, and Connors are the ones I like. I can get off Wyndham Clark. I can get off Jason Day. I can get off Thigala. The ones I really like in this 8K range going to be Lowry, Connors, Cam Young for sure, and then Homa. Those 4 are the ones I'll be on. But again, with Shane Lowry, I don't typically like playing these guys that are at the top, but I'm going to make the exception with him tomorrow because I think, he can really thrive in these tougher conditions tomorrow, these windy conditions. We'll go like 7,500 and above. Jake Knapp barely snuck in tomorrow. Tough conditions tomorrow. I think I'm good being off of him. Griot continues to play well. I think he's fine. Min Woo is fine. It's funny now he's $1,000 more expensive than the main slate, sitting at 76. Chris Kirk, I think, is a guy that can definitely play well in these conditions tomorrow. I like him at 76. Sungjae played well today, finally. I mean, this is a course that Sungjae typically plays solid at. He's been a disaster as of late. I'd be fine going to him in tougher conditions tomorrow. Henley, he's one of those guys at 7 under. I'm fine staying away from him. Benyon was on him on the main slate. I'll stick with. And then Hideki, the guy, can be off tomorrow at 7 under. So in this upper 7 range, my favorites are definitely going to be Kirk, English right here in the middle, and then Benyon would be kind of the 4 that I like, 7,500 to 7,900. Coming down to this lower range, I'm just staying on my guy Pavon. I've been playing him for weeks now. The results have been phenomenal. I could see him actually moving up tomorrow in these tougher conditions. So in on him. Keegan Bradley, I got a lot of him on the main slate, and I don't know, he scares me when things get pretty difficult, so don't necessarily love him. Lauer, no thanks. Cole, no thanks. I do like Hadwin a little bit. I like Van Royen, Hoagie, and then Brian Harmon's a guy can be off tomorrow. Like, I don't want to play all those guys at 7K. When we get through all this, I'll resort it and talk about these top tier guys, but fine being off of him. Not much interest in Poston, List, Taylor, and well, definitely not Kitayama because he didn't make the cut. So the guys in the lower sevens that I'm interested in would be Pavon, Van Royen, Hadwin. Those are the three that I like. Again, fire off some questions. I'll circle back at the end and answer them. So we'll be moving a little quicker because we don't have a ton of guys. So make sure to get some questions in there, and I'll cover them at the end, whatever it is, roster construction, specific plays, whatever you guys want to talk about. Cam Davis bounced back nicely today. I did like him for Showdown. He was a guy that I had in the tier rankings. I don't know. Torn on him. I like Straka over him, I think, in the tougher conditions. Eckroat continues to play well. I think he's a fine play down here at 67. Fowler, I'm fine just staying off of Ricky. Denny McCarthy, I think, can survive the conditions tomorrow. You want guys that can make putts. There's going to be a lot of long par putts tomorrow. McCarthy can knock them down. I think he's fine at 65. Bezadenhout, I do like quite a bit at 64, cheap price tag. He's played, used to playing in some of this win stuff. Good with him. CT Pan, I played it. Actually, my best team on the main slate has CT Pan, so I'm kind of rooting for him. I'll stay on CT at 6,200, even in the tougher conditions. Seamus Power, 6K flat. Yeah, I'll give him a look. I'm going to be open to playing a lot of 6K guys if I need to get more Scotty, to get more of these guys up top. I'm definitely open to expanding my player pool in that 6K range a little bit more. So that's kind of where I'm at here on the pool of the players for tomorrow. Again, just to reiterate, it's really important when you do with these guys that are 7 under. There's 6 guys at 7 under. Definitely in on Scotty. Definitely in on Shane Lowry. Like, I really like those two. Like, those are by far my 2 favorites up here. I like Zalatoris a ton, just one off the lead at 6 under. He's good in tough conditions. So these guys that are all up here, Scheffler, Lowry, Zalatoris, are the 3 that I like the most. All right, let's go through and talk about some of the stuff. Decky injury equals winning or contending. Yeah, I mean, it is interesting because the news popped up late in the week that he had some sort of back injury. Does not look like the back's bugging him at all. Currently sitting, he's in that lead. He's part of the lead, and it's super frustrating because the injury guys have not paid off in the last 2 seasons. Like, if someone's been marked injured or coming back from injury, they have not paid off. Hideki is defying that because he's been great. Let's see. Wins maybe a little lighter for the earliest guys, potentially. I mean, just maybe a little bit. I haven't seen the tee times. Let me see if I can pull that up real quick just to see how early they're going off. It would have to be, based on what I saw, it would have to be pretty early to have any sort of. So the first guys are going off at 9:05 a.m. Eastern. I don't know. I think it's going to be tough all day, so I'm not really leaning the early guys. I'm just, assuming it's going to be tough conditions for all these guys. Hovland got hot at the end. Does he continue to T1? I mean, definitely possible. I mean, Hovland, I like guys that end strong, like going into the next round. And Hovland, moved way up the board. He moved way up the board after the back 9. So I think he could definitely make a push. He's played well here. So I'm good with him. I definitely think he could move up. You guys can go ahead and put some more questions if you have them in here for sure. Just looking at some builds. What sort of builds do we get with Scotty? If you go Scotty and 1, let's just plug in a random 6K. We'll plug in Eckroat. So you're sitting at 7,900. Let's say we want to play one more guy in the 9K range. We like Zalatoris as well. 75. So pricing is still pretty soft. There's going to be a lot of ways to get comfortable teams in. Can play, reliable guys down here. So you like Tom Hoagie. Then you're back close to 8K. So it's going to be easy to get in Scotty tomorrow. He's going to be the highest owned guy in the slate, and rightfully so. I mean, he's just the best golfer. Balanced builds, I'm not as interested in tomorrow because I just don't want to live in this range. I just prefer the Hovlands, the Schefflers, the Xanders of the world, even just way more than these guys down here. But if you wanted to, Zalatoris, JT, you plug one cheaper guy. I talked about Pavon, and then you're back up here in the 8-ish K range. You can play Connors, and then you got like 82.5 left. So I definitely still prefer the Scotty builds. I want as much Scotty as possible tomorrow. I mean, the guy is he's just too good. Are you specifically using the solver for lineup construction? Is it necessary to sim, in your opinion, using Sabre, sim, free trial? But no, I mean, for me, I've had a ton of success. I mean, I'm not tooting my own horn, but I've had more success in PGA this season than just about anyone in the industry in terms of profitability. And I've never used a simulation tool ever. So it is not a necessity. Can it be helpful? Yeah, sure. But I think it's more helpful for the top 1% of DFS pros, not including myself. Like, I'm not even putting myself in that category because I can't find it to be useful. So no, you do not need to use simulation tools to make money playing DFS. I will stand by that statement. I think the only people that can benefit from simulation tools are people that are top end players and top end tech savvy players. So you got to have that combination of it being a top end DFS player and being very tech savvy. And that combination is like less than 1% of people playing this game. Ludwig, luckiest made cut of the year. Yeah, maybe. I mean, those guys at +3 did kind of sneak in there. They were looking to be in trouble. Favorite 6K guy. For me tomorrow, favorite 6K guy is going to be Bezuidenhout. I think he's used to playing in these tougher, windier conditions. I think he can certainly get the job done tomorrow. And again, like, getting the job done tomorrow is probably just making sure your ass makes a lot of pars and not fall into big trouble, because it's going to be very difficult tomorrow. So, just surviving, just holding on and trying to get past, and that will get the job done tomorrow. So I think Bezuidenhout is really good in that 6K range. If you guys have any more questions, fire them in there. I also like CT Pan that I talked about at 62. Eckroat, I'm just staying on him. Like, the guy's been good. He won last week. He's right there again this week at 3 under. So I think he's a totally fine option down there as well. At what is he? He is 67. So I'm good with him in that range. Any more questions? Any more? I'll go back up to the top. Here's a question from earlier. When diving deep into player pool, do you look for guys that are poor across the board, or do you automatically ignore them? When diving, do you look for? Yeah, I'm not sure if you're talking about like statistically, but I'm not a huge statistics guy in terms of looking at my golfers. I just kind of find the guys that I think fit courses well. Opposed to looking at like the very like individual specific type statistics. Like, I know what you need to be successful on this course, and this is like one of those courses where you just have to be a well-rounded golfer. And that's why I think over the weekend we see the cream kind of rise to the top, which we've kind of saw today. Scotty Scheffler makes the move up there. Wyndham Clark had a ton of success last year. Zalatoris is creeping up. Hovland is creeping up. Burns, JT, like, at the end of the week here, or come Sunday, I think we're going to see a pretty stacked leaderboard, because man, you have to be very well-rounded golfer to get the job done at this place, and then throw in the weather as well. And the best golfers in the world clearly are good handling the weather as well. So it's kind of where we're at. Again, I appreciate the support here. If you guys could hit the like, hit the subscribe, helps us out a ton. Get on over to shipitnation.com. Check out all the packages that we have to offer. The Hoop15 coupon code, still good to go. Gets you 15% off any package that you want to try out over there. Obviously, I would recommend the All Access Annual, the best deal. And you don't have to worry about anything the rest of the year. 509 gets you everything. We have you covered for all the main sports over there on DraftKings and FanDuel. Do you think that leaving more money on the table will be a better lineup for this show? I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, Showdown, you can always leave the money on the table. We saw it last week with our boy Cuse Matt, left like $5,000 on the table, shit 50K. Now you throw in the weather factor for tomorrow. There's going to be a lot of volatility out there. So even more so tomorrow, I think leaving money on the table makes sense. And it's not just like $100, $200, $300. You can leave big chunks, especially in the larger field stuff. What's the main thing on the main contest on DraftKings? I think I'm in here right now. It is pitch and putt. There's over 10,000 people, it looks like. So yeah, I mean, you definitely are going to want to do something a little bit different in those lineups for sure. And Showdown is always more viable than the main slate. You can do it on the main slate too. I mean, it's been optimal lineups have been leaving 2,000-3,000. I'm not recommending building teams like that, but yeah, you can definitely do it. But Showdown for sure. The volatility tomorrow, in my opinion, is going to be very high. So leaving money on the table is one way to embrace that volatility. So yeah, that's going to do it, everyone. I appreciate all the support. Again, if you could hit the like, hit the subscribe on the way out, that'd be very helpful. Let's get some of these SHIPIT Nation logos to the top of the leaderboard. Good luck to everyone in your contest tomorrow.